Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The House will come to order. You don't have to rise. I'm going to make some comments first before we get to the Pledge of Allegiance. So, of course, it's with great sadness and a heavy heart that we open session this afternoon and remembering our wonderful colleague, Assemblymember Barbara Clark, who passed away earlier this week. In the very near future, we will act to pass a resolution honoring her life and her work and the time that she spent here in the legislature. For 29 years, Barbara served with this House, the people of the 33rd Assembly District in Queens, and citizens across this state with conviction, integrity, and grace. There are many of us here today who can remember our first days in Albany and that warm, welcoming smile and words of encouragement that she had for each of us. She may not have always agreed with us, but she was never afraid to take a stand for what she believed in. Barbara was a bold and courageous legislator and a fierce defender for all that she held dear. Thousands of children and families across this state are together and stronger because of the issues that Assemblymember Clark made in her life's ambition to work for. She will be remembered as a loving mother, a protector, not just for her own family, but for all families in New York State. Later today, in her memory, we will take up a resolution from the calendar on an issue she felt she held very close to her heart, in kinship care. She sponsored this resolution in acknowledgement of the millions of children who are living in loving and supportive homes under the care of grandparents or other relatives. We've lost an exemplary public servant, a loyal colleague, and a dear friend. And I just want to tell a little personal story about Barbara when I was first elected and we had our first retreat before I even took office. And she was a member who, of course, had more years on me. And I remember her saying to me to stand up, even for the things, even being a new member, there are certain things that new members weren't entitled to as the older members. But she always said, make sure you have the courage to tell the speaker what it is that you felt that you needed for your district and for yourself. And for her to just come to me and say that, I had known Barbara from being involved in politics, but for her to take that time before I even took office just reminds me now what a special lady she was. She's very motherly to me, always concerned about me, always asking about my daughter, and I'm just standing up here now just really missing her. So I would ask now that we pause for a moment of silence before we have our opening prayer by Reverend Aurelia. May Barbara rest in peace. Thank you. Reverend Aaliyah will now offer a prayer.
Let us pray. God of love and mercy, on this day we gather with heavy hearts as we mourn the loss of a colleague to this assembly, Assemblywoman Barbara Clark. Comfort her family, particularly her husband Thomas and her children and grandchildren. Give them your tender mercy. Surround this legislature, her colleagues and friends, with love and strength. And be a strong and gentle presence also to the people of her District 33 in Queens. We give you thanks for all in her that was good and kind, intelligent, hardworking, and faithful. As this assembly meets to do the work to which they are called, give them hope and clear vision. Let their conversation, their debate, and their decision-making be filled with grace, patience, and wisdom. And bless the speaker as he moderates the process. Bless all who work here, and thank you for their faithful service and for all that they do to make the state a better place. And help us all, here in this place and in our own communities, to do the work of building a more peace-filled and just world. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Aaliyah. Visitors are invited to join members in the Pledge of Allegiance.
A quorum being present, the clerk will read the journal of Tuesday, February 23rd. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to dispense with the further reading of the Journal of Tuesday, February 23rd, and that the same stand approved.
Without objection, so ordered. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I might take a moment to ask the members for their attention so we can announce our schedule for the day. Members have on their desks a main calendar. I note there are 16 new bills on the calendar numbers 373 through 388. After introductions and housekeeping, we will begin our work today by taking up resolutions on page 3 of the calendar. Among those resolutions, as the Speaker has noted, we will be taking up a resolution by our dear colleague, Ms. Barbara Clark. And as the Speaker also noted, we will have an opportunity in the very near future to offer comments and memories of our dear colleague and friend, Ms. Clark. After we take up those resolutions, we will be consenting the new bills on the calendar, beginning with calendar number 373, and then we'll continue to consent where we left off when we last met, beginning with calendar number 105. Members should also be aware that the following committees will meet off the floor today. So if you're a member of this committee, please pay special attention to announcements. The Committee on Social Services, Committee on Children and Families, and the Committee on Insurance. So members, again, be aware and alert for those announcements. Majority members should be aware that there will be the need for a conference once our work on the floor has been completed. I will obviously consult with my colleagues in the minority as well on any conference needs they may have. And with that as a general outline, Mr. Speaker, any introductions and housekeeping would be appropriate to take up at this time.
We'll start with introductions. Mr. Santa Barbara for an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings for an introduction. Today, I'm very pleased to introduce here with us in the chamber Danielle Jakalewski from my hometown of Rotterdam. She's a third-generation firefighter with the Carmen Fire Department in my hometown in Schenectady County. At the age of 22, Danielle was promoted to lieutenant on January 1st of this year. And she became not only the department's youngest, but also the first female firefighter to hold that title. When she joined the department in 2010, she was following in the footsteps of her late grandfather, Raymond Jakalewski, and her father, the department's former fire chief, R.J. Jakalewski. She has served the department honorably ever since. She's a shining example of public service, logging up to 50 hours per week at the station and sacrificing much time that she could be spending with friends and family. She has dedicated that time to protecting our communities. She's an inspiration to her friends, her family, and our community, and a trailblazer in the firefighting profession. Danielle is being recognized later today by an Assembly resolution in her honor, and I'm so very pleased to have her here joining us in the chamber today. Mr. Speaker, if you would welcome her to the chamber and extend to her all the cordialities of the House.
Certainly. On behalf of Mr. Santa Barbara, Lieutenant Jakalewski, we welcome you here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We commend you on the work that you do to keep your community safe, and we are ever grateful that you have been able to arrive at this lofty position in your career. We expect much more of you, and Mr. Santa Barbara is so proud that you are here with us today. Thank you so very much. Mr. Murray for an introduction.
Mr. Speaker, with us today in the chamber, and they are in the back right there, if I could have them come forward. It was just 2 weeks ago that we as a body passed a resolution honoring a hero police officer from Suffolk County, a man who literally placed himself in the path of danger as he used his patrol car to stop an alleged drunk driver who was going the wrong way towards oncoming traffic on Sunrise Highway. Well, that man, Suffolk County Police Officer Joseph Verdi, and his wife Danielle, as well as their children, Jasmine, Eric, Joanna, Giovanna, and Andrew are all with us and present with us today. So, Mr. Speaker, it's an honor and privilege to have them here with us today. So if you could please welcome them and extend the cordialities and privileges of the floor, it would be greatly appreciated.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Murray, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome this officer, courageous officer, and his family, and what a family you have, sir, here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We commend you on your courageous actions. We hope that you will continue to provide safety to our communities. Thank you so very much for being here.
These others, we're not ready yet.
Oh, well. Mr. Santa Barbara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt a second time for purposes of an introduction. Joining us from the city of Schenectady, I have several guests I'd like to introduce. With us, we have Reverend Horace J. Sanders, Jr., senior pastor from the Mount Olivet Baptist Church in the city of Schenectady. We're very happy to have him here. We're happy to have him join our Schenectady community. His philosophy in the pulpit is to teach people to live within God's grace and to extend that grace to others. He's a native of the Bronx and grew up in South Carolina before moving back to the great state of New York. He's been doing wonderful work in the city of Schenectady, a tremendous advocate for things like education, our neighborhoods, quality of life. We're very happy to have him join us here in the chamber. He's also joined by William Rivas, the Executive Director of Community Fathers, Inc. in the city of Schenectady, and his wife, Shantae, is here with him as well. Another great organization that is doing tremendous community advocacy work for the city of Schenectady. Mr. Speaker, if you would welcome them to the chamber and extend to them all the cordialities of the House.
Certainly. Mr. Philip Steck on the same issue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church is one of the outstanding institutions in the Schenectady community. It's located approximately 1 mile from my district office, and we were very, very thrilled to be present at the tremendous event that the church put on Martin Luther King Day, where there were prominent citizens from all over the Capital District celebrating MLK Day at that wonderful church. And we thank the Reverend for visiting with us today and for all his advocacy on behalf of the people of Schenectady.
Certainly. On behalf of Mr. Santa Barbara, Mr. Steck, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these outstanding citizens here to the New York State Assembly. We commend you on the work that you're doing in your communities in Schenectady, and we extend to you the privileges of the floor. You are always welcome here. Thank you so very much. Ms. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to introduce several important members of our community from the city of Yonkers. Today, members of the Community Planning Council of Yonkers are here for their first time. This is a group of not-for-profits and advocates throughout Yonkers that have joined together to assert the interests not only of their organizations, but of our great city and how we can improve it. This is their first trip collectively to Albany to see how we work, but more important, to make sure that their voices are heard as we deliberate in the budget and in the legislative issues before us. So they're joined by several of their members, but their executive director, Greg Arcaro, is here, as well as others from the YWCA, the City of Yonkers, and the Urban League. And I'd like you to welcome them and extend the cordialities of the House and encourage them to keep coming back and arguing for Yonkers. Thank you.
Certainly, on behalf of Ms. Mayor, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these distinguished citizens from Yonkers here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We hope that this being your first visit here to Albany, you have enjoyed it, and you will continue to return as the Assemblywoman has requested. Always be free to understand that you are welcome here. Thank you so very much. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing a brief interruption for the purpose of an introduction of a number. I think we have about over 30 young people, students from CUNY who are here today. Ms. Glick would normally be doing this introduction, and she is over conducting interviews for the New York State Board of Regents, so she's asked if I would extend the cordiality to this fine young group of students. As I indicated, they're CUNY students. They're here as part of today's 2016 Undergraduate Research and Creative Works Poster Program, an event sponsored by both SUNY and CUNY. The theme is Exploration and Observation, Undergraduate Student Research and Creative Activities Forum. Student posters will be on display in the well of the Legislative Office Building until later this afternoon, so those who have an opportunity to go and avail themselves of, please do that. I also want to acknowledge that along with this group of very talented young people is Terry Martell, who is a CUNY Faculty Senate Chair and ex officio member of the Board of Trustees of CUNY, who is with the group of students along with other faculty advisors and members. We are delighted to have this talented group of young people in the chambers. Want to continue to wish them well in their studies and thank them for making our day a little brighter. If you could please extend the cordiality of the House to this group, I'd appreciate it.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Morelli and Ms. Glick, the Speaker and all the members, we welcome both the students and the faculty here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We have known and been able to stop and see some of the exhibits that you have displayed in the well. We applaud you on your academic work. Continue that good work. The course and history of this state will be set by what CUNY and SUNY students do in the future. Thank you so very much. Ms. Lepardo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would also like to welcome to the chamber a couple of constituents from my district. They are here. In fact, they were here to experience Ms. Clark's resolution for Kinship Care Month. They are Deb Fox from the Family Enrichment Network. She directs the Kinship Care Program, and advocate Linda Phelps with the Mothers and Babies Perinatal Network. I just want to say what a pleasure it has been working on the kinship issue. To repeat, I'd like to say how proud I am to have worked with Ms. Clark on the kinship issue. Hearing the stories from the advocates from our community just underscores the importance of the program and the legacy of Ms. Clark's work. May we all honor her by continuing that commitment. Thank you.
On behalf of Ms. Lepardo and on behalf of Assemblymember Clark, we welcome you here today to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We hope that your day of advocacy will be successful and that you'll be with us when we pass Ms. Clark's resolution. Thank you so very much. Always be welcome. We will do a little housekeeping as we proceed. On a motion by Mr. Weprin, page 18, calendar number 131, bill number 2901A, amendments are received and adopted. On a motion by Mr. Ortiz, page 27, calendar number 193, bill number 4913, amendments are received and adopted. Mr. Sepulveda, for the purposes of an introduction.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to interrupt the proceedings. Today I have the honor of introducing a woman who has been one of the biggest moving forces at the Wildlife Conservation Society We know it in our district as the Bronx Zoo. She's here with some students from the district, and I can't underemphasize the economic engine the Bronx Zoo is in our community in West Farms and the surrounding communities, which encompasses several of our assembly persons here. Rosemary has, for years, done fantastic work on behalf of the people in the surrounding areas, including a very robust toy drive where she gives out thousands and thousands of toys for needy children in our community. She also organizes academic programs for the local schools and allows us to do what we do, the summer reading program. Every year, we bring the kids to participate for an event at the Bronx Zoo. She gives them free access to all the events, free access to the zoo for the day. And for that, I am truly grateful because it provides a wonderful, lasting experience for the children in our community. So please help me welcome Rosemary DeLuca, the students, and everyone from the Wildlife Conservation Society.
Certainly, on behalf of Mr. Sepulveda, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome these excellent Bronx representatives from Bronx Zoo and the Wildlife Society here to the New York State Assembly. We extend to you the privileges of the floor. We hope that your day here will be beneficial and that we will all better appreciate the services that you provide. Thank you so very much. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could now go to page 3 of the main calendar and begin our work with Assembly Resolution 966 by Mr. McDonald.
Page 3, resolutions. Clerk will read.
Resolution number 966, Mr. McDonald. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim February 29, 2016 as Rare Disease Awareness Day in the state of New York.
On the resolutions, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 967, Mr. Court. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim April 22, 2016 as New York State Day of the Arts.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Nay, opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted.
Resolution number 968, Mrs. Clark. Legislative resolution memorializing Governor Andrew M. Cuomo to proclaim September 2016 as Kinship Care Month in the state of New York.
On the Ms. Mayor, on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm deeply humbled and honored to be able to speak on this resolution by our colleague, Assemblywoman Barbara Clark. She historically has taken the lead on the issue of kinship care, and she has year after year introduced this important resolution recognizing September as Kinship Care Month in the state of New York. And I'm very honored to keep her tradition alive by speaking in support of this very important issue. Kinship care is defined as grandparents, relatives, and family friends who are raising children when parents are unable to continue parenting. It is one of the most valuable child resources in our country and in our state. And nationally, there are over 2.5 million children in the care of grandparents, relatives, and close family friends. And more than 150,000 of these young people reside in New York. I know in my district in the city of Yonkers, there are over 1,500 youths being raised in kinship care, and that is a low estimate. In Westchester County alone, there are 7,000 non-parent caregivers. Each of these individuals, mostly grandparents, have taken on the challenge and the love of raising children related to them with love and attention and allowing them to avoid foster care and to provide the greatest quality of parenting we could ask for. This morning, I had the privilege of meeting with 5 selfless caregivers from my district who live in the city of Yonkers, who are involved with the Kinship Support Program run by the Family Service Society of Yonkers. They're here in the chamber today along with many other caregivers and advocates for kinship care. This resolution that our colleague has introduced will recognize their accomplishments of the grandparents and the caregivers and countless youth who, with the unconditional support of their relatives, have navigated the trauma of losing their own parents and being brought up by their relatives. It's so important that we keep this resolution alive, this partnership alive, and our commitment to these grandparents and family members who have taken on the responsibility with much love and joy, but bring us the wonderful opportunity to have children who are raised by family members under challenging circumstances. I'd like to ask them all to stand in support of this resolution.
Ms. Peoples-Stokes on the same resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I too rise to make a comment on this resolution and the life of our former colleague, because as a county legislator, it was brought to my attention that I had several grandmothers in the district who were not able to avail services for the grandchildren that they were taking care of because of what I call, and I will call now, the failed war on drugs. And so in order for me to figure out how to help them, I had to actually end up talking to Barbara Clark, who I had never met before. And she helped me organize what we called in Buffalo family care workshops. And we did them for like 3 years in a row with Member Clark's assistance. And so the work that she did on kinship care is far-reaching. It spans much further than the district that she represented in Queens. And I believe to this point, Mr. Speaker, much further than the state of New York as well. So it's my honor to support this resolution, and I'm really pleased to hear that my colleague is going to carry it on into perpetuity.
On the resolution, Mr. Lenthal.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know it will be a while before we have a resolution in front of us honoring the member of our dear member who has passed, Barbara Clark. And I don't have any advocates who are here in the chamber today, but I wanted the advocates here to know that they could not have had a better champion in Barbara Clark, not only for kinship care, but for a woman who cared more for children in this state than anybody else. And I just want the word to go out that we have lost a giant in this House, in Barbara Clark, and all of the advocates, if they don't know it yet, they will know it by her loss. And my heart goes out to her family, because this is the New York State Assembly, and we are the people's house, and she truly represented the people.
I would ask all members in favor of this resolution to please stand and quiet in the House. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I indicated earlier, we're going to have 3 different committee meetings off the floor. We're going to begin with the Committee on Children and Families in the Speaker's conference room, so members should accompany the Chair, Ms. Lepardo, to the Speaker's conference room for Children and Families.
Children and Families, Speaker's conference room, please follow Ms. Lepardo. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, sir. If we could turn to page 54 in the main calendar, we're going to begin with calendar number 373 by Ms. Weinstein.
Clerk will read.
Assembly 154A, calendar number 373, Ms. Weinstein, an act to amend the social services law and the public health law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 567, calendar number 374, Mr. Lenthal, an act to amend the alcoholic beverage control law.
The bill is laid aside.
Assembly 878, calendar number 375, Mr. Simbrowitz, an act to amend the racing, parimutuel wagering, and breeding law.
Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to gently remind all the members that this is our first vote of the day, so people should cast their votes. And members who are not in the chambers but can hear the sound of my voice, they should make their way in to cast their first vote of the day.
First vote of the day, members. At the sound of our voices, please come to the chamber and register your vote.